Hi, my name is Linda Burhans. I am the gal who cares for caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. And believe me, I have plenty of that. Love, laughter, and lessons learned. My journey began when my mom moved to Florida from New York in 2006 to retire and be happy and be close to me and see her grandchildren. And we were ready for a great adventure, and 4 months later she was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. Not the deal. Not the deal. This was supposed to be the time of my mother's life where things would be easier. The doctors suggested we do some chemotherapy. And my one sister's a nurse, my sister Pat, and she was like, I don't think Mom can deal with that. And my other sister Stephanie was, her husband died at a young age from cancer, and maybe that's not the deal either. But my mom wanted to try it. Her body, her life. So we did a couple of rounds, and by the second round she was out like a light. And we decided as a family that this was not the best recourse, and we decided to stop doing it. Well, my mom also had dementia, but I didn't know she had dementia. Well, the dementia served her very well, because when we stopped the chemotherapy, she told everybody she was cured. And you know what you put in your head? We had a wonderful journey. Through the laughing and the crying, and a lot of crying and a lot of laughing, but just living the last months of her life and whatever it was going to be. And I tucked her into bed one night, and she said to me, "Good night and God bless." She said to me a million times before, but I thought this was going to be the last time I was going to hear it. And I went in her living room that night and I was like, "Dear God, please just give me a little bit more time." And when she woke up the next morning, she looked great. So I started writing my book, Good Night and God Bless. And I wrote through the last 3 weeks of her life and my grieving process. After the book was published, I went out to promote the book. And every single time I'm out promoting the book, people are coming up to me crying and saying they needed help.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Holman, Business Development Specialist for Art and Courts Memory Care Communities of Lago and Seminole, Florida. Met Linda around 2009 when her first book was coming out, and I was helping her to promote it. So we had a caregiver seminar here at Art and Courts and helped her to launch her book and get it in the hands of caregivers that needed it. At Art and Courts we host support groups, and she is one of our facilitators at both our 2 locations, Lago and Seminole, and families come to the building and she offers them a place where they can communicate with each other, learn how to laugh again, they can cry, they can have a support system and discuss things that are going on in their lives, and she helps guide them and give them resources. We do speaking programs together and try to reach people within different areas of the world, basically, anywhere from healthcare to businesses to churches, trying to reach people that are caregiving, and not just necessarily for Alzheimer's and dementia, but for any caregiving role, because families that are caregiving, they don't know where to turn to, and they get sick more often from being a caregiver, and that's because they don't know how to have an outlet and to take care of themselves, and that's how Linda is very helpful.
More and more today, as our population is aging, we need caregivers to be involved and to be educated. Because the caregiving journey is not just about the medicine and the doctor's appointments and the therapy. The caregiving journey is a spiritual, not just a physical journey, a journey where we really need to reach out to one another. So, in doing all these support groups, that's what I want caregivers to know. People started calling me to interview me on their radio shows, and it was happening time and time and time again, and finally they were like, "You need to have your own show." And I said, "Yeah, I do." So now, starting in March of 2017, Connecting Caregivers Radio started.
We need more than just one individual, one community, one business to help families. Everyone has different needs, and we may not necessarily know everybody and what resources are out there. And because of Linda has been around and traveling and has a bigger network of people because of the radio show, I believe, and just the connection she has, she's able to help us with helping the families connect with the right resources that we may not be aware of.
I tell caregivers all the time, this could be The most horrific experience of your life, or the most beautiful, depending on how you handle it. So I have the connections. I tell caregivers, if you have a question, call me. If I don't have the answer, I know someone who has the answer. So I'm hoping that you will tune in to Connecting Caregivers Radio, that you'll check out my website and my blogs. My new site is lindaburhans.com, pretty easy to remember. I'm out here to help you. I care about you, and I want you to care about yourself and your loved one. You hear me? Yourself and your loved one.